You write a check, you get to read a poem. I encourage any of you to do this. And I emailed Liz a week ago. I said, how do you know if a poem's finished? And Liz emailed me back, and maybe you've heard this, I haven't, but a poem, she said, is never finished, it's only abandoned. So, and this poem was abandoned on November the 6th, which is today. I had just drafted a lawsuit, and I'd returned to the poem at 6:23 to tweak it. So it is abandoned at 6:23. And just a little lead-in. I understand poets have to do little lead-ins. I've played hockey for a long time in a tiny little town called Katy, and it's really more of a crossroads than anything else. And it's a tiny little ice surface, which suits you as you grow older. It's ostensibly, and I say ostensibly, non-contact, and the poem deals with that. And it ends with a bow to Alperti, who famously called, and I don't know if you know this, but he called hockey a combination of murder and ballet. So. For a decade or more, we have found a way, non-contact, but we have found a way. We were met on this battlefield of ice, this crossroads at the Katy line. F-150s northbound from Desborough, cube vans west from Chatsworth. The shrunken dimensions of this barn barely contain the pugilism that was our birthright here in the Queen's Bush. 15 minutes into this pinched bin, and we have chased the puck. We have chased the punk who played Junior C down at Roxeter, who fancies himself back in front of the crowds at Listowel, not knowing where he is now. We are exhausted men, blown men, staggering men as we crawl into the benches between these, our night shifts, gasping sub, 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 as we retreat from the arena after 30 seconds, some a minute. We have found a way. We have found a way, despite Ken yelling out, "Stop it! We all have a mortgage to pay." We have found a way to hurt. Rubber deep in the corner, me and Pete charging. I lay my shoulder into his and I ride his collarbone full bore into the end, making sure his spleen feels the edge where the board meets glass. And a modest slash to the back of his knee because what the hell, in for a penny, there's the pound. And I admire my crumpled handiwork and forgot all about the black disc. We found a way. After I was done with Pete, I caught Vokes at center ice. I caught him with his head down, too good to pass up. His head down like a lily drooped, looking at the ice like it was water. And this good flower seemed puzzled by the frozen nature of it all. I hammered that lily and watched him teeter and become one with the ice. We found a way. 10 minutes later, it was me on the receiving end, and the M&R guy, new to this barn, fresh from tagging fish on Manitoulin Island, he lays me out. And I rear myself up, and with the full regalia of hypocrisy, I yell, "Hey, it's non-contact." That wasn't contact. If that was contact, you'd be fucking dead meat. We found a way. Bob tossed his sorry ass beside mine, doing what Bob usually does, seeking what free legal advice he could in 14-second increments. Bob was sucking whatever air he could, and he was panting as though he was elsewhere, unclothed. A year of chasing tail in the Katy trailer park had caught up with him. I give the advice in spurts. She's keeping the kids from me, and he's over the boards. Alimony, John, she knows I don't have shit, and he slams the door behind him. The judge hates me, John. Thompson hates my guts, and he's gone again. I think she went dyke, John. Should have never got her the hot tub. I offered legal advice that was commensurate with the time constraints and also with the rather modest retainer he had provided. Maybe you need to see her as something other than a bitch. Maybe you should not refer to the good Queen's Bench judge as a prick. Maybe it's not the hot tub that sealed things, Bob. Maybe it's you. But he's gone. We have been here for a decade now to this field of ice, to hook, interfere, slash, hold, cross-check, spear, charge, board, to smash our cohos against the timber, to retreat into the dressing rooms, to knock back 2 or 3 core, to piss around and sometimes inside the lidless toilets, to slyly take the measure of our aging bodies. We have returned here each autumn to resume our magnificent stand upon this frozen earth, to partake in this sacrament, a little bit of ballet here, a little bit of murder there. Thank you.